Hey everybody, so here's the gist of the story. Humans never stopped one conspiracy. There's an old conspiracy in 1880 about mattresses and tractor beams. I'll get into that today. The mattresses are repeating waves from the power lines. I'll get into that today. I'll talk about that today. It's a coil array. It's for MRI, which is like brain reading. I'll talk about that. Basically, the mattress is really bad. Nobody else is saying this, so I wanted to make a video just to get this stuff out there. So back in the 1800s, people from New York City all the way to the West Coast farmers described being scanned at night in bed. They were complaining to the newspaper. The newspaper wouldn't touch the story. Finally, they covered the story, but they mislabeled the technology as a tractor beam. So it took about 50 years before they talked about it. 1880 comes along, waterbeds come out, and the TI movement tried to make a push for waterbeds. And the newspaper started saying, oh, coil mattress is so luxurious, you've got to try this coiled sleep system. It's the best thing we've ever had. You know, all the cool kids had a mattress. The rich people were bragging about the luxury of the coil mattress. You know the tactic by now. It was they were forced to be a part of society. So, 1871, Mark Twain writes the New York Times about the new church, his vision for a new church. And he said people basically targeted individuals and people who were ill or sick or in the hospital or mental hospital should use water beds. And nothing really happened. The whole planet is controlled and the Matrix is always winning. So we never. It was just like MK Ultra. They said, oh, the government doesn't have technology to make a satellite dish yet, so it can't be a dish, even though it's clearly a dish, and I'll explain that in a second. So basically, these are energy coils. Energy coils are used to make radios, amplifiers, energy weapons, coil guns, MRI machines. We know metal conducts radio. So when you lie on this flexible coil receiver dish, and you've got aluminum mercury in your blood, and you're lying under a mercury light bulb, and you're lying under satellites that shoot radio 24/7, it's a machine. And if you Google sine wave speech study, there's a study done 5-10 years ago. They proved you can create dream-like images with sine waves. So if you can read the response with a coil array and ask a question or create a dream with a sine wave, you can question somebody all night long on this. So it's called the rack. It's for interrogation. So how does an antenna work? Radio excites the electrons of metal, so these metal springs are radio conductive. So I was trying to think, how do I describe what this is? It's a grid of coils, but another word for grid is array, like a satellite array. So I googled coil array, and there's 20 pages of PDFs, 2011 technology, not 1800 technology, and it's for MRI. If you put a bunch of these energy coils on your skin, they can take pictures of the brain with only radio, very accurate MRI via only radio frequency. The government has a manual on how to make these coils, 300 to 600 pages thick. When you lie on it, the body weight makes 3 dish shapes, one for the head, one for the balls, and one for the heart. Your back is right on top of a magnetic field. These are inductor coils. I'll talk about that in a second. And what runs through your back, through your chakras, is the nervous system, all your nerves and everything. So I looked at the logo for this company, Mattress King. It's got a big MK on it. It's got a crown and talks about kings. MK is for MK Ultra, obviously. So these are inductor coils. I googled zero induction EMF coils. Basically, inductor coils make a magnetic field, which is great for controlling a cell nucleus. So even if you're not inside of it, they can just tell you to look at it, and your brain will be scanning a magnetic field, and very convenient if you want to control someone's brain cells. I've I dumped all my data at Reddit/r/reptilian data. There's a thread called Matrix Coil Arrays. I almost think it's a holodeck. These energy coils are very energy efficient. I bet this thing makes a better holodeck than any technology humans have right now. This is like 100 years in front of us. We watch Star Trek, they have an array on the wall, all these square grids, right? But a grid is not the best energy efficient thing we have. A coil is, energy coil. They used to make coil guns, energy weapons, rail guns, things like that. So, there's some more ties. Like, it looks like a hologram. The coiled energy flow. I googled the coil energy flow. The coil is also very similar to sacred geometry, which I believe may be how the brain controls other cells. So these repeating squares is like how you tell your cells, they're so. It's like how the brain talks to cells, or it's like how God's brain would talk to the sun until the sun is perfect, So, it could also maybe be used as like a DNA gun. They could maybe rewrite people's DNA lying on the mattress. I would throw that shit out today, It's actually like a binary, it's actually a matrix. So the plural of matrix is matrices. Which is almost spelled identically as mattresses. And yeah. If you watch this video, it clearly shows the power line waves coming through the mattress. He hooked a meter up to his mattress. And that's really bad. If you Google Lily Wave, there's more videos about bypassing human defenses with a special wave pattern called Lily Wave. So I figured if the mattress is repeating the waves from the power line, maybe the light bulb is too. The light bulb doesn't have a transformer, or the light bulb doesn't have a capacitor, so it's probably repeating the wave pattern from the power lines also. This is what they use to watch the elite 1% and the activists and the dissidents, and that's why we're in this mess. Most people don't get this, but that's how they steal technology. That's how they spy on people. And that's how they run the newspaper, probably, and everything. How they suppress the forums and the mind control reports and everything. It's really sensible if you have a coil like this and you have a brain cell. Well, the brain cell has a nucleus. It fits right inside this coil, and even if it doesn't, and makes a radio or electromagnetic prison, depending on which theory you believe in. The coil array is for radios, and the inductor coils make a magnetic field. So it's great for total cell control loss. So the light bulb is kind of suspicious too. It's like a fork thing. Maybe it can wire two suns together, very similar to the sodium, aluminum, and mercury vaccine. Sort of like Hellraiser, maybe we're walking around with these staples in our head, and then you touch two together with the light bulb filament, and now you're saying somebody else's fucking theory. Um, so this picture's really interesting. It's got the third eye is the Eye of Horus. If you bisect a brain, apparently there's the Eye of Horus right in the middle, and my theory is that is the third eye, and maybe that orange dot. If you look in the lower left, you'll see the orange dot is a single nucleus or a single sun, single star. That's your third eye. And it's very open to, and that would be the target for microwaves, for radio or infrared beam, or maybe just as simple as a light bulb. It looks like we were already warned. This guy is an extraterrestrial. His name is Uncle Faster. ET's a lot faster than us. They're a little bit ahead. And interestingly enough, the cell nucleus is like a star. It's nuclear. It's electromagnetic. And it makes electricity, so the snake's tongue cells are very electromagnetic and electrical, and he's very familiar with this shape, this forked tongue thing, so I wouldn't mess with that. I would definitely throw on lampshades. I've got a shielding video that covers all of this stuff, and check that out. Even if you have shielding, how thin is the floor and the ceiling? It's only quarter-inch, plasterboard. Who knows what these coils do? They could be for channeling psychic energy or what. Sort of drinking the life force, of a person, vampires, fucking Half-Life 2. Make sure your bed isn't by the window. Put Mylar over the window. And I've had this theory, what if they linked everyone together with the TV hypnotic programming? How powerful would a million zombie minds or control people reading the same hypnotic script? How powerful is a million? How powerful is a million zombies reading the same hypnotic script? Make the Eye of Sauron right out of TV, right out of your favorite show, and then you're controlling people. And it's pretty relevant to aura stalking. Like if the mattress, you can watch the other video on the mattress. If the mattress can force astral projection or force mind control, people who are sleeping could be used to control their neighbors, and they could sort of have unlimited power. The coils are radio conductive, and so is the mercury in the vaccine. And the mattress is really bad. There's a lot of proof it's actually like a dish. So they only watch the activists and the elite 1% and the people with power over other people, newspapers, doctors, forum moderators, and everything. So if you don't remember your dreams, they stole them, and I don't know how they link everyone together, but I think the Eye of Sauron is real, and if it's not real, they wasted $1 million filming it to warn us, so we gotta figure out how they do it and try to rip it down. This is two pretty good leads: hypnotic television and satellite dish beds. So as a bonus, with the IR camera, you can detect sort of infrared beams and infrared mind control. Watch out for beams from the window. One TI said he saw infrared beams from the window once he got his IR gear. I'm just saying what everyone else is not saying. This is just data. I'm not saying it's true. I think that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone.